Did you know that it's illegal to refuse to rent to a single mother? Or that if you're disabled and you need a closer parking space, there is a process that you need to go through for asking for one. These are all examples of what's covered under the Fair Housing Law. Hi there, I'm Nikki Reese. I work for the City of Piqua in the Development Department, and I have here with me today Mr. John Zimmerman with the Miami Valley Fair Housing Center. Thanks, John, for being here. He's going to cover the basics of the Fair Housing Law.
Thanks for having me, Nikki.
John, can you briefly explain who developed this law?
The laws were developed first by the federal government and second by the state of Ohio, and the city council here in Piqua has also developed a fair housing law for the city of Piqua.
And what exactly does this law cover?
It covers dwellings that are used for residences, and it's a little bit broader than some other laws. It covers single-family homes, apartments, condos, dormitories, homeless shelters, places where people live their life and come and go from.
Who is protected against discrimination?
In the United States, all residents are protected based on protected classes. There's race, color, national origin, religion, and gender. There's disability, and then a term called familial status, which means there's children under 17 in the house for federal legislation. Then Ohio, our law is very similar to the federal government, but we add ancestry and military status. And then Piqua, which also has a similar law, adds marital status and creed for a total of 11 protected classes in the city.
What are some things that are discriminatory?
Well, if a person with a chronic illness applied for housing and they were denied because of the chronic illness, that could be considered discriminatory. Sometimes we've seen single mothers with children denied housing based on their marital status. They don't have a husband, and then they're discriminated against. We've also seen people discriminated against for religious affiliation. They might have a Star of David or a Christian cross in their home, and they've been harassed for that, and that is all discrimination under the Fair Housing Act.
What could a housing provider do to prevent breaking the Fair Housing Law?
Well, first thing they could do is they could come to the trainings that you sponsor, and I know that you sponsor several during the year. The second thing they could do is to train themselves, and they could get, first of all, Piqua's Equal Opportunity Statement from a website that we created, which is MVFHC.com/Piqua. And they could display that sign for all of their residents to see, all the people that come and apply to know that they believe in the spirit of fair housing.
Are there other learning tools, resources available that would provide further information on the Fair Housing Act?
Sure. So in addition to the trainings that you sponsor, landlords should back that up by reading the landlord primer that we have at the same site, MVFHC.com/Piqua. And it's a 12-page primer that covers all the basics of fair housing.
Sounds like an excellent source of information on fair housing. Thanks, John. One of the things that residents can also do is you can Google Miami County, Ohio, fair housing, and it will bring up both the Miami County Board of Commissioners website and the City of Piqua's website, and there's further fair housing information available on there. Also, if you think you face discrimination, you can file a complaint with the Miami County Fair Housing Office, and their phone number is area code 937-440-8121. That individual will take your complaint, evaluate if it is a fair housing issue or it might be a landlord-tenant issue. If it is determined that it could potentially be a fair housing issue, they will turn it over to the Ohio Civil Rights Commission in Dayton. The Miami County Fair Housing Office is just an intake call center. They do not provide any legal advice. John, are there other agencies that would be able to help if someone does have a fair housing complaint?
Sure. Well, you mentioned the Ohio Civil Rights Office in Dayton, and they have a toll-free number. It's 1-888-278-7101. Also, sometimes there are people with disabilities that need to contact someone, maybe someone who's hearing impaired or deaf, and HUD has a discrimination hotline, and their TTY service is 1-800-927-9275, or for their regular discrimination hotline, which is a voice line, it's 1-800-669-9777.
Thanks, Sean. I really appreciate you taking the time to cover the basics of fair housing with us today. I also wanted to let you know to be sure to watch another video that we have available that's on landlord-tenant rights and responsibilities, where I've invited Deborah Levy, who's an attorney with ABLE, to share information on that law. Again, thanks. My name's Nikki Reese. I'm with the City of Piqua. I'm the Development Program Manager, and I can be reached at area code 937-778-2062. Thank you.